know you're somewhere, somewhere.
Hi Leo, welcome to my channel. My name is Kem. Today, Leo, you guys have laid a solid foundation, number 6. Something's going on with your heart chakra because this is like very green. 6 is the number of love. You're talking about laying foundations, and there's an ending to something here that was holding you back with the whip. So this is really positive, Leo, because it could be like letting something go. It could be like, how do I explain it? Opening up your heart. And, you know, like maybe in the past you were a little jaded, or maybe in the past you had a bad relationship. I feel like with the whip, you're letting all that go. It's like letting go, releasing a lot of the things that you know aren't serving you so that you can move forward. This could be with a particular person, or it could just be like someone from the past maybe, or this could be with a new person. But I think you understand, like, in order to lay a solid foundation with somebody, you can't be in a jaded energy, and you can't be in a, you know, it's your fault and pointing the finger and, you know, negative. Like, you have to be open and you have to be forgiving and loving to like try to make something real work. So that's what I'm getting for you guys, like very open, very honest, and letting something here go, something really big. I'm kind of getting like a forgiveness vibe with the whip and the death card, but it could honestly be just forgiving all the people from the past that hurt you and starting clean again. Like it could be a particular person, or it could just be everyone in general. We'll find out more when we pull, but I just see this as really positive because you're just letting go of all the, you know, things that you can't take back, things that you can't control, things that already happened. It's like, let's just let it go and move forward. So that's what I'm getting, Leo. Let's pull more. So Leo, I see here a lot of like endings, a lot of beginnings in terms of, I think it has a lot to do with the way that you're going to start doing things in love. Like, I think this ending and beginning has a lot to do with love and where you see yourself going. And I think, again, like, you've had this past that has been really hard to let go. It's been really hard to move on from. It's been really hard to like move forward in without like an open heart, when you still have like all this shit from the past that's there. So I feel like you're finally able in some sort of way to like get some sort of peace with the past. And that's why I feel like the youth is coming up here, because you're kind of ready to start over again. You're ready to venture out again. You're ready to put an ending to all the pain. You know, this is the 10 of Swords. And you can see here, like, the person is trying to go through a threshold, and I think that's what you want to do. Like, you want to go towards a new beginning in love. And again, it's like really difficult when you have the burden of having experienced, you know, cheating or, you know, dishonesty, breakups, like just everything, you know, everything that you wouldn't want to experience. I feel like you've experienced it, so it's hard for you to think like, oh yeah, I'm going to be able to start over again and it's all going to be great. No, because there's like this jaded energy of, well, what if this happens and what if that happens, and well, my experience has taught me this and my experience has taught me that. You know what I'm saying? So you're not trying to be overly cautious, but you are very cautious because of what you've been through. So I see here like a new beginning, and I see you here understanding that whatever took place, and I think you're understanding that there is a balance in life. There is some sort of balance. I think maybe in the past you didn't get that, or you thought to, you know, it like life is so unfair. Like, why does life have to always be shitting on my life? Like, why does relationships never work out for me? And now I think you're kind of coming to a sort of balance where it's like sometimes relationships end poorly, but at other times they're really beautiful and they're really loving. And, you know, I think you're beginning to understand like the balance. There is some sort of balance here. because at the end of the day, like, nothing is perfect, and relationships will have their difficulties. And I'm not saying that like toxicity in a relationship is normal, but I'm saying sometimes we're the toxic one, right? Sometimes we're the one that's you know, giving off ego or giving off fear and reacting out of fear and messing things up. Other times other people are doing that, and that's also like a balance. Like, sometimes it's not our fault and sometimes it is our fault. You know what I mean? And I think at times you've been at fault, and at times someone else has been at fault. So again, like, you're understanding that. And again, with the sixes, 6 6 again, and 6 and 6. Yeah, again, there's like, you know, there's always like two ways to look at things, right? There's like this beetle that got into my house the other day, and I looked it up, and it's like, it could be very lucky or it could be like a symbol of like death, right? It's like two total extremes, right? And I guess it depends on how you look at it, and I think it depends on like what you're experiencing at the time. Like, are you in a low vibe? Then you're gonna probably go with, oh my God, it's death, it's something bad. And are you in a high vibe? Oh, like, you know, it's probably something lucky for me. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like kind of based on how we're feeling at the time as well, what we see, and like the lens that we see the life, like the world through. So I'm getting here that you're coming to a much healthier place within yourself, where now you're able to kind of come out of the funk that you've been in when it comes to love, and when it comes to like trying, and when it comes to like the experiences you've had. Like, you're just looking at it in a very optimistic way. So I really like this, Leo. I really like this for you, because this is also, it's not only like a good thing for you, but it's also opening yourself up again. Like, it's, again, I feel like it's like an opening of the heart, because emotions is our last card. So I think this jaded energy a lot of the time maybe came from yourself. We have the Knight of Swords and the Queen of Swords with the Fool in reverse. I don't know if this feminine energy is you, but maybe you have a lot of air in your chart, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. But I think this is just the way that you speak to yourself, right? And the feminine energy is like the you know, the emotional side. So it's like, you know, talking to yourself in a negative way. Maybe like saying, okay, like this person, or maybe again, you've been dealing with a lot of liars, but I think it's more of the fact that you yourself tell yourself like, no, you shouldn't go towards love. No, like it's you kind of keeping a cocoon around your heart so that you can't get hurt again. And that's the energy that you're letting go. So I kind of picture like somebody wrapping up someone's heart and like to try to protect it, and you're kind of unwrapping it now. You're like, you know what, it's time to use this again. It's time to like be open again. It's time to experience life again. Like, I can't hide anymore. You know, I can't just be like out of this world without my heart. You know what I mean? It's not going to work out well for me. And that's what I'm getting here. You see, you have the Maiden energy with the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Coins. I like that you're coming up as the Knight twice, because the Knight is moving. The Knight is always like a sign that someone is actually moving, right? And with the Maiden, this is a sign that you're ready. Like, you're ready for the next adventure. You're ready for what's to happen, what's to come. And I think I don't think you've realized it. I think you've just been reacting to life, but now you're kind of seeing like, wow, I'm in control. I'm actually the one in control. Just like I told you with the beetle, like, you are the one in control. You can look at it through a lens of like, wow, this is like a symbol of death, and this is gonna be so scary, and like something bad might happen. It's a bad omen. Or you can look at it as like a good omen, right? Depends how you look at it, and that's how you're doing everything right now. You see, we have like these two opposite energies of earth and fire. And then we have the choice card, which talks about like a dual energy, the death and rebirth, a dual energy, the light and the dark, the good and the bad, you know, the balance that needs to be set. And I think you want to remain on the positive note of that balance. You know what I mean? You want to remain on the light side. You want to remain on the like the more open side, right? But it can just as easily go wrong, and you can feel closed up or negative again. So I feel like you're trying to like steer yourself towards the positive, steer yourself towards, you know, victory basically in relationships. But I think you're beginning to understand like it begins and ends with you at the end of the day. Like, we can't control like how someone's going to treat us, but we can control the way we're going to react to it, right? And we can't control like if someone's going to be toxic. I mean, but we can control like, you know, if we want to distance ourselves from that person. So I feel like you're kind of feeling more in control of your life, and instead of like a victim mentality, you're like, okay, well, I'm in control of it, so nobody can technically treat me this way if I just were to move away from them. Or, you know, if I spot somebody being, you know, in a way that I don't like the way they're acting, then I could just, stop talking to them. Like, I think you kind of underestimated the amount of control that you had, and now I feel like you're not doing that anymore. So it's really positive, Leo. Let's pull some advice. I think this is like a very brand new beginning in love for you. And I think it's gonna be really successful because you're understanding again that like you're in control. Like, yes, to a certain extent we're not in control, right? But then again, we're able to spot things out and move away, right? Which gives us ultimately, I feel like, more control than I would say like we're not in, like we have more control than we think we do. But yeah, that's what I feel like this is here. The choice of like, am I in control or am I not in control? Is someone going to hurt me or someone not going to hurt me? Again, kind of depends on you. Like, if someone is toxic, why would you talk to them? You know what I'm saying? If someone's good for you, why wouldn't I talk to them? So it's really like based on you and how you act and what you want to like achieve from the next relationship you go into, and also like the way that you see people and the way that you observe them, and is this person going to be good for me? What am I looking for in a relationship? Am I going to be good to this person? You know what I mean? And that's putting you ultimately in control. Yeah, I love that you guys have Amaterasu here, the goddess of light. We are all sacred mirrors reflecting back the same light. Exactly. This is what I'm talking about, like that duality. And they're talking a lot about the light, and I think that's like the direction that you want to head into. But at the same time, you realize like sometimes people are a reflection of ourselves. Sometimes we meet people that are in their ego heavy because maybe we're in our ego. You know what I mean? Sometimes we meet toxic people because maybe, sometimes they say like, oh, we attract the opposite because we need to help that person. But that can't be the case every time. Sometimes we are the toxic one. Do you know what I'm saying? Sometimes we're the one that's not healed. Sometimes we're the one that's, acting stupid. It's never gonna be, you're like the saint and everyone just hurts you and everyone just, doesn't know how to act. You know what I mean? No, sometimes it's us as well. And I think you're beginning to realize that. And it's like, I think the reason that it's not as daunting though anymore is because of all the experiences that you've had. I think you're going to be more able to recognize what you don't want, and you're able to recognize like who is in a high vibe and who is the one that puts myself also in a high vibe. Like, some people, you might be in a great mood and then you hang out with somebody and they put you in a shitty mood. You know what I'm saying? Or they make you feel anxious, or they make you feel like you're not worth, like again. And sometimes where it's our own fault if we don't feel confident enough or we don't feel worthy enough, like we're not ready. Do you know what I'm saying? So again, it's always going to be either we need more work or they need more work, right? But at the end of the day, I feel like you're going to be able to recognize who's the one that needs the work. You are this person. Why are they reflecting this energy to me? Is it me? And that's what's bringing peace of mind, because you're like gaining some sort of like the fact that you're gaining, like you're coming to this ending in love, or you've already come to this ending for a long time, and you've just been sitting there waiting like for when this ending will, when this will finally be over, when you can move on to something new, when your heart will be ready. I think you're sitting more in a ready energy because you realize this, that people can be a reflection of ourselves sometimes, and that we are ultimately in control. Like things don't just happen to us. We can actually be the one in control that's saying like, nah, I don't want that to happen to me. I'm going to walk away. So yeah, I feel like this independence speaks a lot about like freedom of the mind and freedom of the heart, freedom from the past, freedom from, all the shit that's already taking place. And I think it's a true like blessing to be able to start over again. And I feel like that's what the raccoon is trying to say, like curiosity. It's a true blessing to be able to start over again. It's a true blessing to have learned something and be able to like have the strength and the, I think it takes bravery, like it takes bravery to want to start over again. So this is a really positive message. I feel like with lay a solid foundation, Like the next person that you talk to, you're going to be very much like aware of how they act. Like maybe back in the day you used to be more aware of yourself, and now you're going to kind of be more aware of them. And then, you know, see how you react around them. Like you're being very smart about this when you start over again. That's what I'm getting. But yeah, that's what I'm getting, Leo. I love you. I hope this helps, and I'll see you next time. Bye.